What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. So whenever you're buying a property such as a house or condo, it's highly recommended to get it thoroughly inspected for legal purposes, even if it might seem in decent condition. I lately bought a property myself, got it inspected by a professional inspection company, and to my disappointment, I still ended up with a few things that weren't working properly, and I ended up losing thousands of dollars. I created this 20-point inspection list to be able to guide you throughout your first visit so that you have that much less to think about. And if you have stuff checked on the list after you're done with your visit/inspection, you'll have something to negotiate for and you'll just be better aware of what'll need fixing. Here are a few things I suggest having with you during your visit. The first thing would be a small flashlight. You'll be looking into drains, under counters, and low-lit areas, so it'll be very practical to have. Second is a medium pair of adjustable pliers. You'll need these to unscrew cleanout caps to check for roots and other things, so make sure to bring some with you. And finally, your inspection list and a pen to check points. Alright. Let's go through these one by one real quick so you get a good idea of what to look out for. Number 1 is checking for cleanouts. A cleanout is basically a branch on the main sanitary drain with a screw-on cap that allows for it to be snaked for any eventual blockages. And it should pretty much look like this. If the owner doesn't mind, it's a good idea to unscrew the cap and check if the drain is free-flowing by having him flush a toilet once or twice. This would give you a good idea if there was roots in the pipes or any potential blockage. Number 2 is making sure the sinks are well fastened. It could be that the kitchen or bathroom sinks weren't fastened properly and water could leak in between and cause water damage. A quick way to check is from under. Just try to move it around or prop it up. If it doesn't move, you're good to go. Number 3 is making sure the faucet is fastened as well. The property that I recently bought had a loose bathroom faucet, as you can see here. So always make sure to test it by turning it. If it doesn't move, it means it was properly installed and you could move on to the next point. Number 4 is making sure the toilet isn't wobbly. A wobbly toilet can lead to leaks, sewage odors in the house, and it just doesn't look good. To test if it's properly secured, get over it as such and try rocking it left or right. If it moves a lot, it could be that the bolts aren't tight enough or that the flange that it's attached to is rotten and broken, so make sure it's nice and solid. Number 5 is the toilet seat and handle. This might sound unnecessary to some, but if they're both broken, expect to pay around $50 to get them fixed. And it's something that a lot of people don't check when buying a home. So a 10-second visual on these will save you a quick $50. That's the price of a small grocery. Number 6 is to make sure that all the fixtures have P-traps. A P-trap is what prevents any sewage gases from entering the home, and if there aren't any, you'll most likely smell a weird rotten egg-like smell when you enter the room. Every fixture must have a P-trap. A toilet, however, has one built into it, so look no further. A shower or bath is easy to check as well. Just grab a flashlight and point it at the drain. You should see some water inside. Number 7 is checking if the hot water tank is due for replacement. A hot water tank is generally due for replacement after 10 years, depending on the brand and the type of water it sees. Having a new tank installed could vary between $400 and $1,000, so it's a good idea to know when it's due. A good way to know is to check the date on it. If it's close to 10 years old, you'll need to take that into account for. Number 8 is checking for leaky faucets. Whether it's the shower faucet, lavatory faucet, or even the outdoor faucet, these need to be addressed as soon as possible. Not only does it cost to fix the faucet itself, but if you don't, you'll be paying for the wasted water, which could sum up pretty quickly. So make sure they aren't leaking. Number 9 is checking the condition of your water lines. This applies more to homes that have copper pipes, and it's to check if there's any of this blue greenish crust on the pipes or fittings. This crust could be due to the plumber not wiping off any excess flux when it was soldered, and since it's an acid, it basically ate away at the copper in time. Or if the pipe was just left stagnant for a long period of time with excess flux in it. Some systems could stay like this for a long time, but others could be a potential hazard for pinholes, which could lead to extra costs and expensive water damage. If you see a lot of this during your visit, it should raise a red flag. Number 10 is a cool way to check if there's a hidden leak. It's possible that the owner of the property doesn't even know he or she has a small leak. And a good way to check if the home has a water meter is to pay close attention to the small black triangle. If it rotates and all of the fixtures are shut, it means there's a small leak somewhere. Number 11 is to check for pressure. A typical home will have more or less 45 psi of pressure. Low pressure is not a good sign, and high pressure isn't any better. Low pressure could mean you have galvanized piping, which is something that costs a lot to replace, and high pressure could be harmful for your fixtures, as most of them have a PSI rating of 80 psi. So it's something to be mindful of. You could get yourself a cheap gauge like this one at Home Depot if you want to check. Number 12 is to check the supply hoses for each fixture. Supply hoses are made of rubber and dry out in time. One of the most common causes of internal flooding in homes is from a burst flexible water hose, whether it's from a washing machine or a simple fixture. So just go around and visually inspect them, and if you see any rusted or twisted lines, it means they need to be replaced. Number 13 is to make sure the main water valve is in good functional order. But why, you might ask? If, let's say, a burst pipe was to occur and the shutoff valve didn't work, you wouldn't be able to shut off the water. Plain and simple. So it's super important that it works. If you want to test it, close the valve and open a fixture or two. If there's still water coming out after a few minutes, it means it's not sealing and it probably needs servicing. Number 14 is to make sure there's no galvanized or lead piping. Both of these could be found in older homes and they must be removed and replaced with new piping ASAP. This could bring the cost up around $15,000 if you'd intend on doing it, which is something you could easily use to negotiate the price. Give Google a quick search to know how to recognize galvanized piping and you'll be all set. Number 15 is to inform yourself and make sure the main water line coming into the house is a minimum of 3/4 inches in diameter. You want to have at least a 3/4 inch pipe coming in the house as to not have any problems such as a lack of water when multiple fixtures are being used. Number 16 is to check for under-counter leaks. A quick way to check for leaks is to fill the sink up with water and drain it. Just running water won't always provoke a leak. Number 17 is to make sure there's a floor drain in the basement. A lot of homes don't have a floor drain in the basement, and it's very important to have one, as if there's a major leak such as a failed hot water tank, the basement wouldn't get flooded. Number 18 is knowing if there's been any major drain blockage in the past. Just visually inspecting it like we did before isn't enough to be 100% sure. If tree roots got the best of the pipes, you'd need to get them excavated out, which would cost thousands of dollars to do. So make sure you're aware of this by discussing with the owner. And if there has been, getting the drain inspected with a camera might be a good idea before buying. Number 19 is to check for poly B or polybutylene piping. Polybutylene piping is a gray plastic pipe that was used from 1978 to 1995 and was very prone to failing and causing damage to a property, and would need to be replaced, costing around $15,000 to do so. So inform yourself with the owner to make sure there's no poly B inside the house. And number 20 is knowing if the home uses the municipal sewers or a septic tank to manage sewage. If it uses a septic tank, they need to be maintained and replaced after a while, which could easily rise into the 5 figures mark. So it's important to know these things beforehand. And that completes the list. There are so many other things that could be added to this list, but would make for a never-ending video. If you want to add some points of your own, go ahead and comment below. And as always, give this video a like if you learned something and share it with your friends. And until the next one, thanks for watching.